What if your greatest success was actually your biggest mistake? It's a pretty chilling thought, right? You spend your whole life climbing the ladder, you finally get to the very top, only to realize it was leaning against the wrong wall the entire time. That's the dilemma we're going to unpack right now.
So, this story, it doesn't just pop up out of the blue. It actually kicks off with a really common problem. There's this guy in a crowd who asks Jesus to step in and sort out a family feud over an inheritance. A money dispute. But instead of just offering some quick legal advice, Jesus pivots and gives a warning that's still so relevant today.
He basically just hits the pause button. He says, whoa, hold on. Before he even tells the parable, he wants to make something crystal clear. The real danger isn't having money. It's what the love of money, that greed, does to a person's heart. This one line sets the stage for everything he's about to say.
And now, we get to meet our main character. This is a guy who's so successful that he has a problem most of us would frankly love to have. He just has too much stuff. But his solution to this so-called good problem is exactly where everything starts to go wrong. So just try to picture this. His fields produce a harvest so enormous that it's literally overflowing his storage barns. We're not just talking a good year. This is a lottery win, once-in-a-lifetime kind of haul. He's got a logistical nightmare on his hands, but it's a nightmare born from incredible success.
And here's where it gets really good, because we get to listen in on his inner thoughts. And what we hear is so telling. Notice a few things. He's having a conversation, sure, but it's only with himself. His entire focus is on I and my. And maybe most importantly, he looks at all his wealth and sees it as his ultimate safety net.
So what's his big plan? I'll do this, he says. I'll tear down my barns and build bigger ones, and there I will store all my grain and my goods. On the surface, yeah, it sounds like a smart business move. Expand your infrastructure. But listen to that language. It's all about him.
And this is the end goal. This is his retirement speech to himself. He literally says to his own soul, "You've done it. You have so much good stuff stored up for years to come. Time to kick back." He's absolutely convinced that his massive wealth has bought and paid for a future of guaranteed happiness. So the plan is set. His future is all mapped out. The foundation for a life of ease is poured and ready to go. But then, the story takes a hard right turn that nobody saw coming.
Right in the middle of all this self-congratulation, this private little monologue, a new voice cuts in, and that one voice changes everything.
Wow, what a reversal. God says, "You fool." The man who thought he had many years finds out he doesn't even have until morning. And that word fool, it's not an insult about his business skills. It's a final verdict on his entire life's philosophy. And then this question just hangs in the air. Then who will get what you have prepared for yourself? All that work, all that building, all those plans for my future, and for what? In an instant, his life's work is revealed to be tragically temporary.
Okay, so let's unpack what the story really means when it uses that word foolishness, because it's clearly not about being successful or wealthy. No, the parable is drawing a razor-sharp line between two completely different ways of being rich.
And here it is. This is the absolute core of the message. The man's problem wasn't his wealth. It was that he was rich only toward himself. He was totally focused on his own comfort, his own security. But in the one area that mattered most, his relationship with God, he was completely bankrupt.
This really lays it out, doesn't it? You've got two opposing mindsets. On one side, being rich toward yourself means you store up stuff on earth, you find your security in what you own, and you make all your plans without thinking about a bigger picture. But being rich toward God is the total opposite. It's investing in things that last forever, finding security that isn't tied to your possessions, and living your life knowing you're part of a much greater plan. And that's the bottom line. The ultimate takeaway from Jesus is this: any success, no matter how impressive it looks from the outside, is built on a foundation as fragile as a house of cards if God isn't part of the equation.
This ancient story isn't just a history lesson about a farmer. It's meant to be a mirror. It's designed to make every single one of us stop and ask some pretty tough questions about what we're actually building with our own lives. So the story really brings it home for us. What are your barns? Seriously, when you're being honest with yourself, where do you place your ultimate security? Is it in your bank account, your 5-year plan, your career, or your reputation? The story forces us to get real about the true foundation of our lives.
This line right here just captures the central warning perfectly. It is entirely possible to look successful on the outside, to have all your ducks in a row,
and still be spiritually hollow on the inside.
And so we're left with this question. It's like a personal inventory check. When you look at your life, everything you've worked for, everything you've stored up, does the fullness of your soul match the fullness of your barns? That's the one question the rich fool never thought to ask himself.
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like, and share.